Hello everyone, it is Holly and I am very tired, but I feel like I should not be tired, so I'm going to force myself to film this instead of continuing to put it off. And that is, I'm here with my spring wrap up. So first, let's talk about reading. Reading went fairly well in spring / April, May, and June. That is what I consider spring. Really, it's quarter two, because that's how I function, is quarters. But anyways, and I will tell you, I did in fact accomplish all of my goals by the skin of my teeth, but I did it. So goal number one was to finish 18 books, and I finished 24. Does that make sense? Because I think I had read like 51. Yes, that does in fact make sense. So I'm literally on track to read 100 books this year, but I'll tell you, in July, things are not going well. Things also did not go well in June, but I accomplished the goals. I'm not going to tell you all the books I read. Let me see if there's any standouts for you to hear about. So I think Second Act Romance, I don't remember who that was by. I believe that's the one I'm thinking of. Was one of the Kindle Unlimited like Valentine's Day romances and like novellas, and I believe it, first of all, I love a second chance romance, so I'm a sucker for it, but it was around the musical Oklahoma, which I have never seen, but the way this author wrote about that like story, you could just feel her passion for Oklahoma in it, and now I want to watch it. So it is available on YouTube for free, so, and like legit for free, not like somebody ripped it. It looks like it's literally up there for free, so I do plan to watch it at some point. Oh, I did read Unloved by Peyton Corinne, which I did in fact give my first 5-star and my only 5-star to not reread thus far in the year. Still holding strong with the only one. Not sure if it would hold up to be a 5-star upon a reread, but it really made me feel things, so I felt drawn to that. I feel like that's really, I did read Big Stick Energy by Serena Bowen. That was a rough one for me to finish. I had to finish that because I got an arc of it and I had to read it for the release on June 30th, and I did finish it on June 30th. I ended up having to buy the audiobook so I could finish it in order to post my review, which is kind of embarrassing, but I gave it 4 stars. That one I feel like could be a sleeper 5-star upon a reread, but I did really enjoy it. It's a hockey romance. It's the second book in the series, and it was a joy. I actually still think about it sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I like that she did that. So next goal was to post 10 videos to this channel, which by the skin of my teeth, I did. It was real rough there. I'm gonna tell you honestly, all I want to do right now in my life is crochet. I don't want to read. I don't want to watch, well, like, I guess I kind of want to watch TV. Oh, well, I want to watch YouTube videos of people crocheting. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do chores. I don't want to do anything except crochet. So it's really interfering with my reading ability and like video posting ability. Next was to read 6 KU books, which I did do. Those were all KU shorts, which is fine. It still counts. Next was to get finished or caught up on 3 series, which I did. I finished the Sutter Lake series by Catherine Cowles, which I did enjoy. I finished Bridge Kingdom, which I also enjoyed. And I finished well, I didn't finish, but I'm caught up on the Hell's Bell series by Sarah McLean. Related, one of my goals is to finish or DNF 2 of my 2026 series. Bridge Kingdom and Hell's Bells are 2 of those. Apparently Oscar is going to go to the bathroom, so we will give him privacy. So I did accomplish that one as well. Hell's Bells, originally the 4th and final book, I think it's called Mastermind, was supposed to come out in May of this year, but it did get moved. It did get delayed, I think, to March of next year, maybe. So that series is now caught up on, so that's good. I wanted to post 2 reading blogs. Ideally, I would post 3 in a quarter, but my goal is 2, and I did do that. I did my final Try a Chapter reading blog, and I did the Capitol Theater series Duology by Lisa Kleypas reading blog. Next was to post 8 shorts or reels between my 2 YouTube channels and Instagram, and I did do that. I actually did 9, which is kind of, I think that's less than I did the previous quarter, but again, I was just not, oh, maybe it wasn't, maybe, oh wait, no, no, I did 11, so it is less, but my goal was 5 last time. So that's a little all over the place for me. Next was to read 8 books off by Physical TBR, which again, whew, this one was by the skin of my teeth. I barely made it. And that fact will be playing a role into my quarter 3/summer goals. And then last was to have a 75% bought read ratio, which I did get. So I bought Chasing the Ring, The Tempest Blade, Purple State, and Jewels of the Sun. I read Chasing the Ring before I bought it. The Tempest Blade I read this quarter, and Jewels of the Sun I read. So I read 3 out of 4, which is 75%. So we are on track there. So it was stressful, I'm not gonna lie. And I want these goals to push me, but I don't want them to be like super stressful. So, you know, and my reward is a bookshelf. However, I am not purchasing it because what I ultimately want is 2 bookshelves for my dining room, which I have 2 bookshelves in there right now, but they are white and I want those to go upstairs, and then I want to replace them with like a brown wood with kind of like metal to match my microwave cart, which was my reward for quarter 1. And so I would rather buy them at the same time to ensure I can get the same shelves. So my quarter 3 goal reward is a bookshelf. So after that, if I accomplish it, I will buy both bookshelves. Let's talk about goals for that quarter. So a lot of them are going to stay the same. Finish 18 books. I think that is still achievable. That's 6 books a month. It should be possible. Next is to post, I said, did I do 8? I think I did 10. Is to do 8 videos on this channel. I decided that with everything the way it is, I'm gonna pull back a little bit and give myself permission to do 8. If I do more, that's great. But right now, 8 is my goal. Next is to read 6 KU books. That is the same. I've been able to accomplish it. The reason I do that is because I figure if I read 25 KU books in the year, then it makes Kindle Unlimited is worth it basically. Technically 24, which would be 2 a month, which would be 6 a quarter, but I like the number 25 more than I like the number 24, so whatever. Next again is to get finished or caught up on 3 series, which can include finish or caught up on 2, like finished, caught up, DNF 2 of my 2026 series. Although we are getting slowly into the ones where I'm going to have to read more and more, which I am working on. I was, in quarter 1, I like started to like make progress, and I was hoping in quarter 2 to do that as well, and it just did not happen. But I think we can still accomplish this. Next is to post 2 reading vlogs, which this is inclusive of the 8 books or 8 videos on this channel. So like it can be 6 regular videos and 2 reading vlogs. I'm really trying to reread historical romance right now, do videos about it, talk about it, bring more historicals to the world. Post 8 shorts or reels. I'm going to keep that the same. And then instead of trying to read 8 or 10 or whatever books, physical books off my TBR, because physical books should get read anyways, and that one has continuously been way too stressful for me, I thought about dropping it down to like 5 or something, but I decided instead to change it. And so for this quarter, it is going to be to finish 3 nonfiction books, because I've only read, actually I think I've read 2 nonfictions now this year. So I would like to read more. Historically, I've been reading nonfiction like before bed, and I haven't been doing that lately, and maybe I will get back into that habit as part of this. I do have some nonfiction on my TBR, but I also have several nonfiction audiobooks that I own that I would like to read. So, and I also just like learning things from nonfiction. Now, I read a lot of like pop, like science, pop culture-y nonfiction, but we'll see. So that's the new one. And then again, 75% bought read ratio. I believe I only have 1 pre-order for this quarter. How that goes, I'm sure I will buy some more books. I actually have already bought a book. Plus I have my book that came out at the end of June that I didn't include in my haul, but I will include in this. So we'll see. Hopefully I can accomplish it. But that is my like reading wrap-up-y bits. I know last time I did talk about like my personal goals, which I never really like formalized my personal goals, which could be part of the reason I'm struggling with them. The other thing is crochet. But I did want to pay down some debt, which I am working on. I've had some bad months where I've been overspending. This month I am really trying to focus on that, and I think I'm doing a good. Now, granted, it is July 7th, so it's not like it's that far, but like one of the things I said is like I do not want to eat out this month, and like at all, and so far I have stuck to that, and I have been tempted, and I have stuck to it. So that is good, and will hopefully help me get closer to paying down my debt. And then I also I want to lose weight, and my weight loss this year has been basically non-existent. I think I've lost like maybe 2 pounds over the whole year, and that's my fault. That's pure laziness. I'm not consistently tracking. I'm not consistently exercising. I am letting myself down, and I have gotten better at sometimes when I when I eat out or I overeat, I eat things that I know are going to put me over my calories for the day. I will not track it. It's like if it doesn't happen, if I don't record it, it didn't happen. But you want to know what does track it? My body. And so I will say that is something I have gotten better at over the last couple of months, is still tracking those things the best I can. And even if that means I went over my calories, I went over my calories. But at least I know and I have a record of it. And I feel like that is progress. I feel a lot of ways about my weight loss right now, and it's very frustrating. I don't know how to put how I feel into words, because I know what I need to do, and I do it a lot of the time, and I don't even feel that hungry. I feel like my calories are generous, and I'm not hungry at the end of the day most of the time, but I still sabotage myself. I have thought on and off over the last couple of months of potentially trying to seek out a therapist, see if I can figure out what is wrong with me. I do think that my sleep plays a role in this. Sleep will play a role in your weight gain, your weight loss, your health overall. It's a very important thing for you to do. And I do fairly consistently have trouble falling asleep. And over the last year or so, I have had issues staying asleep. I do actually this week have my first appointment with a sleep doctor, which I scheduled, I think back in February. This was just the earliest I could get in. So I do think I will talk to her about it, and we'll see. I have considered many a times trying to see what it would take to go on a GLP-1. Whether that be talking to, I assume I would just have to talk to my GP, my main doctor, and my insurance. I think I would qualify because of my weight and everything, because I'm not in a position to pay for it. I know you can get it through Weight Watchers and everything, but I have always been very hesitant to do it because, one, I don't like taking medicine. I think I've talked about this before. I'm not opposed to medicine. I take medicine. I take daily meds. I take an allergy medication. I take Lexapro for anxiety, and I take birth control to help control my endometriosis, which has been going very well, by the way. Although I'm sure it does not escape me that being on birth control ever since I started it, I have noticed a difference in my hunger cues and my fullness cues. And I do think, which makes sense because a lot of it is hormonal, and fat is a hormonal thing. as well. So it's not unusual. Now, I have not gained weight on my birth control or anything, but I do think it probably plays a factor. But overall, my birth control experience, this is the first time I'd ever been on birth control. Please see previous comment about being apprehensive about medication. But that, or my endometriosis, I will take the birth control. So that has been good. But like, and I take pain relievers, I am vaccinated, like all of these things. But I also do think that sometimes we jump to medications too fast, and I never want to do that. So I am always hesitant to try things. But really the main issue is that I am worried that not other people, I would use a GLP-1 as a crutch, and that I would lose weight, but would I keep it off when I stopped? Because I do not want to be on it for the rest of my life. I think it makes sense for certain people to be on it for the rest of their life, specifically people who have like binge eating disorder, who really need this the way I potentially need my Lexapro. Although honestly, kind of thinking about dabbling with trying to get off of it. I feel like maybe I'm in a better place. I don't know. Anyways, but like I would not want to be on it for the rest of my life. And so I would need to figure out what my problem is. And I do not have BED. I just generally overeat. So, yes. And I do know there's people who have seen success with like inflammation and stuff like, so if they have disorders that cause inflammation, being on a GLP-1 has been good for them as well, which I think is great. And so those people may want to be on it for the rest of their lives. But I don't want to. And like I said, I think I would use it as a crutch to not figure out why I am overeating in the first place. So, but like I'm getting very frustrated with the whole situation. I don't know. I think maybe I need to set like a timeline for myself, and if I don't I'm not having success, like good, full-hearted, like I am putting in the effort, success by then, maybe I need to talk to my doctor. So we'll see. I am hoping for this summer, and I've had like mixed success with this, is I really want to work on my dance this summer. And I have some goals for the summer, maybe a little aggressive. Like I do want my splits back, and I was like, I think I could get them by the end of the summer. And honestly, if I worked hard at it, like if I just was consistent, I think I could get them back. And I just mean my front splits, not my straddle. I've never had a straddle. I'm not sure I ever could. But I am very high off the ground. But the only thing holding me back with a front split right now is my hamstrings. My hip flexors are very loosey-goosey. Arguably too loosey-goosey. So I just need to work on my hamstring flexibility and my hamstring strength, which will help me in a lot of ways. It'll help me with other things in dance. It'll help me with running, although I'm not running right now. I'm just walking. But it'll help with all of that. I just need to like continuously do these things. And so I think that one, while a stretch, I think is possible. I also would like to get my double pirouettes back, which I have been working on, and I realized the other day when I went for a double that there is no reason, it may not be a clean double, which is what I would like to have, is a clean double. There is no reason I should not have a double pirouette right now, except my noggin. And so I need to figure out what is stopping me mentally from, like, because I can tell I stop myself. I like drop, I fail, like I bail on it. And like, literally the worst thing that could happen is that I would fall, and like the likelihood of that is very low. Like I have never, okay, can you lay down? Can you lay down? I've never fallen on the floor out of a turn. I've like fallen out of a turn and like caught myself, but I've never fallen on the floor, but that is literally the worst thing that could happen to me. So I need to figure out what my mental block is with that, but I have been drilling turns, drilling control over them, and stuff like that. So I have been working on that. I do also want to get, I had written down a 90-degree like Batma. That's basically what I'm saying. So like to be able to consistently get my leg up to 90 degrees in like front, kicking my leg, and side. Back, we're not even gonna talk about, okay? We're not gonna talk about that one. But front and side, which I can, and I do have the range of motion, especially to the front to get my leg to 90, but to be able to like get it and hold it there with any kind of consistency is definitely not there. So that is a little bit of flexibility, but mostly a strength issue. So I am working on that. I've been doing like ballet bars at home and everything. So, and I think a lot of these dance related goals will work together. But yes, I have been thinking about like, should I be tapping at home? Tap would be hard for me to do at home. I do have a floor out in the garage, which I could bring in here if I wanted to. I could also tap without my tap shoes. I'm pretty confident at this point that I could hear enough with just my feet on the floor, and feel it enough. So I don't know, maybe we will dabble in that a little bit. And somebody else has to go on a diet in this household. Franny is a healthy, beautiful angel princess. And Oscar is a little rotund. So he needs to lose about 1.5 pounds. Which I think we're just gonna shoot for having you lose that 1.5 pounds by next vet visit, next June. Yeah. I think we can lose about 1 pound, a little over 1 pound in a year. So, it's fine. I think we're gonna not only go on a slight diet, slight calorie deficit, we're gonna try to increase our movement. So I'm gonna try to play with him a little bit more, try to get him, because, you know, as he and Franny have gotten older, they're 3 now, they still play, but they don't play nearly as much as they did when they were younger. So obviously they're not burning as many calories. So, and it would be good for me, obviously I play with both of them. Obviously if she wants to play, she can play. It'll be good for us to have bonding time. So, other than just this, which we do this pretty much every day as well. This is not just an on-camera occurrence. So, but other than that, they're both very healthy. They did get their distemper and their rabies shots, huh? Yeah, I think you'll feel good if you lose 1.5 pounds. You are a little chunky. I think you'll feel it's a lot of weight on your little body. Okay, but that is my like spring wrap up books personal cat. So we shall see how all this goes. I think I'm gonna try to relocate him to the couch so I can watch some TV. Huh, but we can still cuddle. You're like ripping my shirt off. Not really, it's like the neck, but still. So we'll see if he lets me do that. Can I even turn off the camera?